Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, pets, and other things watching. Maybe even children. This is the RetroTech 120p challenge. It is my selection once again, and I choose Eddie Barat because she's got hair that needs a comb. Sorry, Jad the Taff, and any other Welshman watching. But yeah, as you can see from the side of her hair there, she needs to brush that down because it's not looking that hot. She's a very attractive young lady. This is the RetroTech 120p challenge, kids, and what you have to do in that is basically you say, this week is my turn to choose, and it was my turn to choose this week, 2 weeks after the last one, weirdly enough, where I picked G.I. Joe and won. I won the G.I. Joe one, but my name came up. I didn't win last week's one, which was Rodland. What a great game that is, by the way. Please check that out. So what you do in the RetroTech 120p challenge is basically you'll be selected at random to choose a game, and when you choose that game, everyone competes using just 2 credits, and you have a week to do it and see how well you do. Your first recorded time is your entry. So I chose a game I was very familiar with, a game called Elevator Action Returns, which you can see on the screen here. And I'm controlling the lady in the very attractive red crop top and camouflage combo. This is a very decent sequel to the original Elevator Action, which came out in 1983 by Taito, and this one came out much later, a good 11 or 12 years later. I think it's either 94 or 95. There's so much more to this game. There's neat little physics, there's neat little tricks you can do. You can like roll barrels at enemy characters and they explode, and they can even affect people on different floors. So this hit you can't avoid taking, but it doesn't do you any damage anyway, which is where the boss there in his lovely salmon suit, a good look that, he blows up the top of the building. But you're still alive because you're a hardy soul. So the blue doors are where you go to get power-ups. Red doors are the most important because they are where the bomb's hidden. If you do not get to them, you will lose your continue. So do make sure you get to those. As you can see there, the barrel exploded when it rolled off of the lift. So that's all kinds of good, isn't it? There's a variety of enemies in this game, all who do different things. You've got the crazy guys, you've got the perverts in their long trench coats, and you've got the regular Joes. But all you need to do to finish the level is get to the bottom here, and that's the first level done. No great qualms there. Does it get harder? It sure does. So Eddie Barat has now been taken to the airport, and look at this waste of a helicopter coming up now. Couldn't you just drop her off? I mean... So obviously they're threatening to blow up the airport, the evil terrorists. I've done a video on this game. One of my first videos, in fact, about 2 or 3 years ago, after I'd done the WrestleFest ones and a couple of episodes of Spectrum games based on TV shows, but I think this was either my 3rd, 4th or 5th video. So it's a game that I do adore. It is a game that I played originally, not in the arcade, but on the Taito Arcade Collections pack on the PlayStation 2. Yeah, a tremendous little discovery this was. It really is a fantastic little game. There's so much to it. There's so many different ways you can kill the enemies. The caution thing is coming out because I haven't reached the bomb quick enough, so I need to get a skedaddle on. She's just sort of dawdling in there. But as soon as you go through the door, they deactivate the bombs because they're that good. Probably the only frustrating thing about this game is sometimes you have to wait for the lift to come back up. You can survive little falls, but not big ones. We've got to watch those. That's the landmine. I've just remembered that. It's been a while since I played this game, so I was like, can I pick that up? And then I went, no, I cannot. So what you'll see in a minute, I do only use 1 continue. However, I'm desperately trying to find, if you can look in the top corner there's a B, which means I can use grenades. However, I cannot remember what I've mapped the button to, so I desperately in a minute try and find every button on the keyboard and accidentally put in 2 extra credits. However, I do not use those extra credits, so I think I should be alright within the rules of the game. But there's so many nice little effects in this game. Look at the gun flash and how it sort of lights up the Eddie Burnett character there. And you can do, if you're at close quarters, you do a little elbow into their chops, which is always lovely. These little yellow clad goons with their green shoes and apparel. That's a little testy bit, that one. It is quite difficult, that bit. The dog managed to jump over me then. What a terrible attack dog. But yes, this has ended up being one of my very favourite arcade games and one I would always return to on MAME, which is why I do reasonably well here despite not having a special smart bomb button to hand. If you do find out what it is on MAME, please let me know. It was easy enough to find on the PlayStation 2 one. I probably could have got further if I had access to the bombs. I never use a single one. The idea is you're in a train at the moment, and if you kill that pink guy enough, he blows himself up and makes a hole in the plane, and you can move on to the next bit. Those little red things can be annoying as well. I nearly go up the lift forgetting to do the bomb at the bottom of the screen there. But yes, what a tremendous little game this is. Absolutely one of my favourites of the genre. Other ones of mine, I think I really love Bionic Commando and Mega Man X and things like that. But this is one of my very favourites. And if you haven't played Elevator Action Returns, either on the PlayStation 2 or on MAME, please do so. It is a tremendous little game. You'll get a lot of fun out of it. It controls really well. There's so many neat little effects and things and tricks and things on different ways and how to kill the bad guys. Narrowly avoid the flamethrower there and just elbowed a dog in the face. Kids, don't elbow a dog in the face. It's very rude. The owners get most bemused by it. This is the bit I'm climbing up some scaffold now, waiting for the lift to come back. Again, the only frustrating part of the game is sometimes waiting for the lifts to come back. But it is Elevator Action Returns, and without it, it'd just be Action Returns. And we can't have that, can we? Important thing, never get below a lift that is coming down. That is a terrible idea. Just as in real life, you'll be crushed. So here is the enemy laying down his mission. Crush the old order. That's what he says. Bloomin' terrorists, eh? They're naughty. Move on to the next bit. I don't actually know where that's supposed to be set. It might be Japan, that map. Here's quite a nice long level. It starts off in a shopping centre and then goes to a big old roof. Top battle. I think it could be a hotel, actually. It's very difficult to say. I don't know what your memories are of the original Elevator Action. I thought it was a tremendous little game. This is so much better. It really is. Get yourself a sandwich, love. You got a long day today. Bayek. I'm not entirely sure what blowing up the cameras achieves. I don't know whether it alerts some of the bad guys or the little wall-mounted thing there. It certainly doesn't alter any of the lights. I believe there was another game released after this for the Game Boy Advance in the series, but I've never played it. Look at this guy, by the way, crushed under the lift. Yeah, if you fancy liking and subscribing to my channel, please do, because it's nice to get more subscribers, isn't it? And I do content at least twice a week, usually one of these, and usually the other one being either a Spectrum game based on an old TV show, which never seemed to end, by the way. I'm on episode 55 at the moment, just on my Halloween special, appearing on screen for the first time in full pug. I was wearing a pug mask. That's what I was doing. There's no full pug costume going on. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that. Whether I appear on screen again, I doubt it for the time being. But yeah, I enjoyed making the Halloween special, even though I got arrested. Well, I didn't get arrested. I got questioned by the police because they thought that I there's a prolific masturbator in the local area who has been going around to parks, I must admit, in daylight, whereas I filmed at night, and yes, pleasuring himself. However, I was with my flatmate when I did it, and I wasn't masturbating, and it wasn't me that was the original perpetrator of the masturbationary crime. I think we cleared up that I was just wearing a mask. Maybe he thought I was dogging, eh? There's a joke. Speaking of dogs, look at all these fellas. These good boys that aren't good boys at all. The naughty Dobermans. Dobermans, there you go, there's a dog. There's a dog from the 90s. Everyone had a Doberman if they were an evil person wishing to guard a property. Never see Labradors in these games, do you? No one has an attack Labrador. That guy needs new trousers. He borrowed them from the Hulk, purple, aren't they? So, yeah, maybe. So, yeah, you get your packs of chips and things and sandwiches with which you can bring your life back up. And again, I'm doing all right so far. It's a decent go. I've run out of stuff to talk about, really. I've already mentioned the RetroTech 120p challenge, where every week you get to play an excellent arcade game from days of yore. I've already mentioned that. There's some great people on the channel as well, so if you want to join the group, please do. We share all sorts of games and things. Commodore 64, Amiga, Spectrum, Amstrad, the consoles, they're all mentioned, they're all covered. So if you've got any interest in retro gaming from the past, and even some modern gaming is mentioned now and again, please do. But yes, I think you've got a real decent idea of what the game is like at this stage. If you want to see my full review of it, then yes, it's an earlier video I did right at the beginning of my YouTube channel, so please do take a look at that. I go into more detail. I'm a lot more charismatic during it because I wrote a script rather than just whittering on into my iPhone like I'm doing at the moment. That guy looked a bit lost then, did you see that? He was looking at the screen. Maybe he realised the terrible existence that he lived in. A character trapped in a game. A mere cannon fodder for the large-breasted teenage police lady that will haunt his dreams and lay siege to his body with her bullets. And coming up to the end of stage 3 now, I still haven't used the continue, which is better than I normally do when I play this game. Even though, as I've said, I've completely forgotten how to use the grenade. But yeah, I found that when you have to concentrate in games like this, that it really does make you a bit better at them. I mean, I don't want to use credits, whereas like whenever I play this normally, I'm really lazy while playing it. That's another thing you can do, by the way. If you jump at the bad guys, the airborne bad guys, it does knock them down. Lost my first life there, finally. It's a good little tactic to use. This is really hard to avoid getting hit on this bit. Really is. I was crying out for the grenade at this point because yeah, I had to use my whole first continue just fighting these guys. These are the 3 bosses. They're much the same as the others. They've just got more hit points, really. They may be a little bit more manoeuvrable. I do get hit a couple of times by them. Key thing is just to avoid those bullets coming at you, obviously, as in all these games. And this high rise. It's a lovely view from here of Japan or somewhere, Osaka, Tokyo, somewhere like that. I don't know. So that's level 3 done. Again, I think I'm doing all right so far. I've repaired the helicopter, sort of. You can see the windscreen there was a bit smashed up, but you know, let's go with it. You know, she crashed it. We'll just have to make do. You know, we haven't got any more in the back. Under the crack. Well. That's the butthole. I just went there, didn't I, in the end? Now, this is the train station. Well, the subway station, at least. It's a sewer level. Yay! Who doesn't love a sewer level, eh? Yay. Those things holding onto the little rails at the top, like we all have to do when we get to London. So there's no bloody where to sit. Bloody London. So I would imagine this week it is going to be the person who gets the furthest. Is it going to be me? It might be me. I think I did all right-ish. It is one of those games where you do get your money's worth if you know what you're doing as well, which is good. Who doesn't love a game like that? Your purple trouser fella there's looking a bit poorly, isn't he? A bit pasty. There's multiple routes through some of the levels, but this isn't one of them. It's quite a linear level. Reminds me a lot of graphically at the moment. Reminds me of that Spider-Man game that was on the Mega Drive. I don't know if you ever played that. When you have to go in the sewers, you get the sort of cut through look at the sewers here. It's a good place to put bombs, isn't it, really? Underneath buildings. No one looks underneath buildings. Everyone except Eddie Burnett, ace teenage girl with big breasts, police lady extraordinaire. And there's a bomb in that door. Stop. Here's a tip, bad guys. Stop painting the doors that have got bombs behind them red. There's a big old indicator to Eddie and her teammates on where to go. There's some landmines there. Must be careful to avoid them. That's not a good way to go, is it? Now this guy, I think you need a grenade to defeat him because he's a right pain in the arse. He takes out my second to last life. I'm now on my last credit, as you can see down the bottom there. I did put the extra credits in trying to find the grenade button. I'm not going to use them, don't worry. I'm no cheaty spaniel. I think I'm about to expire. I do, and ironically the elevator action itself did for me. What a terrible way to go. Wouldn't that be a horrible way to die? So there it is, the RetroTech 120p challenge. It's still open to the end of the week, till Sunday coming. Please go on there, see how well you do at this game, and I'll see you again soon. K, thanks, and bye. I did just fine. Look, comments, fine. Way to build up my confidence.